In this video, we cover the point of sale system inside of Channergy. We have both an order system and a simpler to use point of sale or POS. We'll show you how to use it and how to set it up. So to get started, open a shift and you can either put in your information or you could have this on a card and just swipe it. This is the information for the demo if you're working with it. So it's user 100, PIN number 9999. And when you originally sign in, use the operator number 100 and the password is Channergy, all lowercase. You'll need an amount to start with. This is the amount you put in your drawer in the morning or when your shift starts. And you're set. Normally the POS will just pop up like this ready for you to log in, and then you can go into a sale. We have a sample database set up for a clothing store. You have full control over these buttons, and we'll cover that in the latter half of this particular demo. But for now, let's just look at how we would add items. First, the simplest way is to scan with the barcode. That will bring in the product. You can either change the quantity by turning this on or off. When it's off, it'll add 1. If you turn it on, it will prompt you for a quantity. If you don't have a barcode or it's not able to look up, you can have as many categories as you want to create. And we'll use men's shirts as an example. And then just drill down. There's multiple categories that we created to highlight what types of shirts. We'll do t-shirts here. And then you could have multiple shirts with images of them or icons or just plain text, however you like to set it up. I'm going to order a plain t-shirt, size large, and then choose a color. So let's go with blue. That will add it directly to the interface here. It can still be edited. You can make changes. You can cancel it. You can delete it, etc. But most of the time in a POS, you'll just be using the big buttons over here. There's usually a back. You set this up yourself, but you can always press main pad to go home. And other items can be added quickly too. For example, for pants, we simply have the products ready to pop in. So if you know your product numbers and you just want to click on them, or if you wanted to have images on these, you could, and it will drop them right into the interface. And again, main pad to jump back where we were. When you're ready to take a payment, click on the payment tab down below. And then we can work with credit card processors. You can take cash. And if you put in the amount of cash, it will tell you how much tendered it is. So if they gave you $100, for example, you would then see that your change to the customer is $28.06. We also support Genius and have other platforms that are supportable. So if you want to do debit cards, credit cards, Apple Pay, Android Pay, etc., that's all very doable. Just contact us. When you made the payment, the order's done. Some other things you can do, if you click receipt, we'll print usually by default a standard invoice or standard receipt size, which is 2 inches wide and as long as you need it to be. If you would like, you can also email that receipt to the customer. When you're talking to a customer, typically when you're in POS, you're picking up for a retail customer, which is a default customer account. But you can collect email and phone number information, and then you can use that email to email a receipt to the customer. And with their permission, if you want to continue to follow up with them, that will be stored in Channergy so you can. The other thing you can do is if you need to cancel an order or do it later, is just click no sale. It'll take you back to the main menu where you can start another sale. At the end of the day, when you're done, you can close your shift. It will run a report that shows what your drawer count is, how much you collected in cash, various credit cards, check, etc. And as a manager, you can run end of day. It runs the same report. And you can find that report or those report examples on our site. It should be on this page. If you need us, just contact us. We can show you where that is. All right, let's set up a point of sale system for your users. You have full control over this pad on the left. So the pad that we just recently saw, here's an example of what we set up. Several for clothing. The t-shirts one is the one we put some time and effort into, and you're welcome to play with this demo on your system as well. So let's start though with the main pad and edit that. That will bring up an interface, and I'll just refresh that so we get a better look at the buttons. With the buttons that you can create. So first you want to create your pad, name it whatever you like. It'll get an ID. This one's 1, it's the main pad, and you can choose which pad is your main pad. And then design your buttons. We usually recommend these settings. 7x4 will give you this row layout. This gives you enough space around the buttons for a 128 pixel button, which is a pretty standard size. We also have a setting for 256. We have some pre-made buttons you're welcome to, and we have a Photoshop file that you can use to create your own buttons. So we have a lot of flexibility in it. These are a little cut off just because I'm in a smaller view, but if I maximized it, you'd see the full buttons. When I want to create or change a button, all you have to do is click on it. You can either just put in text, and this will be what shows up, kind of like the pants that we saw earlier. And then you put a function on that. So with the pants, I just wanted to add that item to the order. I put in a product number here. So whatever your product number might be. And then that makes a clickable button that you can click either with a mouse, or this is totally touch screen friendly, so you can press those as well. So people can add items right to the order. You can also create buttons that go to another place. For instance, open a pad. We do that here. So in the men's shirts, it opens button pad number 31, which, if you look behind here, is the men's shirts next category. So you can build as many categories as you like with buttons in them. The image here is a bitmap. You can load it with a right click, but it's also nice that you can paste it. So if you copy it in your graphics program, Photoshop, whatever you're using, just come here and hit paste. It's fast, gets it in to the layout very, very quickly, and these buttons are stored in the database, so you don't lose them, they're still there. You can control the background color. Here we used white to give it a nice clean look, but you can control the color any way you like. And if you're not using graphics, you can control the font. So if you want a different font, you can work with that so that it's just pure text. But as much as you like, you can use graphics as well, so mix it up as needed. Another one that we created, let's go to that men's t-shirts one that we're talking about. So if we edit that pad, this is the category pad you saw earlier. And these are larger buttons. So this is the 256 button I mentioned earlier. Refresh that so it's a little cleaner. Each one of these works the same way. The settings are a little bit different here, and again, you can find that on our site. And when you create buttons, they can do the same thing. Open a new button pad, like this one goes to the t-shirts, and then drills down further until you can add items. This would go into dress shirts, etc. In addition to opening pads and adding items, you can create searches or filter searches. You can run a Channergy script, which is very powerful. Can do a number of things: import, export data, create an email to a customer. There's an endless list of them, and we're happy to help you with those. And each one of those can be a button on the pad. So if you need functions for your reps to be able to do things at the main pad or any pad along the way, you can use these functions to do that. And Open Report is an example as well. So if you want to have a report pop open like that day's take, or an email, or a report of just about anything you can think of, it's just a button press. Once you've created all of your pads, simply close this and you're back in the format. So remember when we hit sale, looks just like the main pad we saw earlier. There's the men's shirts that drills down like we saw earlier. We added a more and a back. You don't have to, but it's nice. Here's additional tabs you can go to. Back can take you back through. You could have a button here, for example, that prints a receipt. Another one that looks up a product so you can find it. If it's not in your store, maybe it's on your website. You can have a ship to customer or ship to store option. So if the product's not here, you can have it sent to them. Again, lots of options. We do pre-built pads for some things as well, so you can get those. And it's up to you just how powerful you want the POS system to be. Also, FYI, the POS stores most of your sales under retail customer. That means that you can run reports on that, see what the details are. But again, as we showed earlier, you can pick up some information about the customer. The order system is also behind this. It can be in a separate instance, or it could be a manager accessed order system, so you can do extremely detailed orders. But this gives you a simple, easy to use interface that works with Windows tablets, works with touch screens. It can be in any kind of environment where you need to quickly punch. We do, of course, work with barcodes, posts, drawers, scanners. So it's a full-on POS system on top of the Channergy system, which is the order system, inventory, channels, etc. So everything is all in one place.